Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television, live from Lagos. A reminder of our main stories. The President meets with World Bank Managing Director, asks officials to hasten the return of stolen funds. The President meets with World Bank Managing Director. The federal government promises to fish out herdsmen attacking farmers and communities across the country. Counsel to the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, calls on CCC Chairman to disqualify self from the ongoing trial of the alleged false declaration of assets. And US presidential hopeful Donald Trump criticizes America's foreign policy. All our top stories can be found on our website. It's channelstv.com. and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Do visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. When you're done downloading, we do urge you to please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android, our iOS and Windows platforms. If you've got pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, simply tap on the Channels TV app on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
We'll now bring you some of the pictures you sent into our Eyewitness portal. First is this one from Rupoko area of Port Harcourt, River State. It's showing a flooded road. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the government to rehabilitate this road. Next is this one from Oka in Anambra State, showing pupils in a somewhat mushroom primary school. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the government to do something about the falling standard of education in the state. We also have this one from Shagamu area in Ogun State, showing a fallen truck. Our Eyewitness reporter says that the truck fell after a brake failure. He's asking drivers to ensure their vehicles are in good condition before going on the road. And next is this picture from Ojota in Lagos State, showing tomatoes on the road. Our Eyewitness reporter says that this could be dangerous and could cause accidents. He's urging the drivers to exercise more caution while on the road. And finally is this one from Ajibade Oshodi area of Ikotun here in Lagos, showing a filthy environment. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the sanitation officials to look into this. We do sincerely thank you so much indeed for sending in those pictures, as we ask that you keep them coming.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Another meeting ongoing at the presidential villa is that of the Nigeria's Governors Forum. The meeting, which is holding at the banquet hall, has in attendance the governors of Delta, Bauchi, Borno, Kaduna and Kwara states, amongst others, and also some deputy governors. The meeting, which is held monthly, will be looking at the state of the nation, the fuel situation and the security challenges in the country. The governor of Zaria State, Abdulaziz Yari, is chairing the meeting. For 20 years, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, the leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, has been running a parallel government different from the rest of the country. This is according to residents of Zaria in Kaduna State, who have accused him of harassing and intimidating innocent people in the area. They made their views known at the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the December 2015 bloody clash between the group and soldiers.
The Kaduna State Government's Judicial Commission of Inquiry, led by its chairman, Justice Mohammed Lawal, are on a fact-finding mission to Zaria to investigate the December 2015 bloody clash between the Nigerian army and the Islamic movement in Nigeria.
What was it?
The commission visited the residence of Sheikh El-Zakzaky at Gelesu and the mass grave site where members of Shiites were buried. The commission also uses the opportunity to visit the Emir of Zazzau.
We went to visit the sites, and as is customary, we felt there was the need for us to pay our respect to to you and the Emirate by paying a courtesy call on Your Highness and the Emirate before we embarked on the visit to the site.
The Emir of Zazzau advises Nigerians to respect the constitution.
I have been reading in the papers the effort that we are good at making. In the newspaper, sometimes they made a wrong submission, but your inquiry will be able to find out what went wrong, how do we correct it. And Nigeria has in its own constitution a freedom of religion. But that does not mean that the freedom of religion should be abused.
Gelesu youth leader also accuses the group of intimidating innocent people in the area.
No matter how powerful a law is, they will never respect it. Could you believe no any security personnel that can pass the front of Man House without threat to his life? It was these people in 2003, they stopped a convoy of the former Minister of Petroleum from passing. They stopped even a governor, an elected governor came to Gelesu. They doesn't allow that person to enter.
In the course of the City of the Commission, it became clear that we had to visit the places we have visited today in Zaria to see the theater of the actions of what happened between the 12th and 15th of December. When witnesses came and they were giving evidence, you can only have mental picture of what the places looked like. But with the visit now, you can then match the picture with the reality on the ground.
The commission believes that the fact-finding visit to Zaria will assist the commission to get more facts about the clash between the Nigerian army and the Islamic movement in Nigeria, and will guide the commission in making recommendations to the Kaduna state government.
Hearing in the case of alleged false declaration of assets brought against the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has been adjourned till Thursday, April the 28th. The chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, Danladi Umar, will rule on the application filed by Dr. Saraki's counsel, seeking that the chairman disqualifies himself from the trial.
After 3 days of recess, the Code of Conduct Tribunal reconvened for the trial of the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki. His arrival is greeted with solidarity by his supporters. It was straight to the business of the day. First, the tribunal agreed to hear the motion that had caused an impasse between the chairman of the tribunal and one of the lawyers to the Senate President at the last sitting of the tribunal. In a motion and notice argued by counsel to the Senate President, Mr. Raphael Oluyede, the Senate President claimed that since the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is largely responsible for the trial and also responsible for investigating the 10 million naira bribe allegations against the chairman of the tribunal, there is no way the chairman will be objective and impartial in the trial. He argued that even though the anti-graft agency stated that it had cleared the chairman of the tribunal, in the same vein, it made mention of the fact that the chairman met with an accused person in his office and that he also demanded 10 million naira bribe from the said accused person. He therefore asked the chairman of the tribunal to withdraw honorably from the trial in the interest of justice. Opposing the motion, the prosecutor, Rotimi Jacobs, asked the tribunal to dismiss the request for lacking in merit. He also described the issues raised in the motion as sentiment which has no place in law. He accused the Senate President and his team of predicating the motion on a wrong assumption that the EFCC is the one trying the Senate President when it is the federal government. Mr. Rotimi Jacobs also told the tribunal that Mr. Oluyede, who filed the motion, was not a party in the suit, as at the time he filed the motion. He further told the tribunal that contrary to the allegations of Mr. Oluyede, the anti-graft agency had concluded investigation and reached a verdict that there was not enough facts to prosecute the chairman of the tribunal. He further stated that the motion was a trap to make the chairman of the tribunal take over the functions of the appellate court, since the same motion had been dismissed at the Federal High Court.
We're not saying that he should not face the trial. He's been facing it, and you can see the results already. All we're saying is that for us to be sure that justice is being done, it must be manifestly seen to be done.
It's just to create confusion and to prevent justice. So that's exactly what happened. And that's why we argue that it should never be entertained.
Two issues were before the tribunal today. A motion asking the chairman of the tribunal to disqualify himself from hearing the case against the Senate president, and cross-examination of the chief prosecution witness. Now, only the motion was heard, and then the chairman of the tribunal, Ladi Umar, adjourned to the 28th of April 2016 to deliver ruling on the motion. He also says he will continue with the cross-examination of the chief prosecution witness. Only time will tell if his statement means whether he will accede to the request of the mover of the motion or refuse it. Amaka Okafo, Channels Television News.
The trial of the former Minister of Interior, Abba Moro, today suffered a setback as the judge handling the case withdrew. Justice Aonli Chikere, who had been handling the case, said that she is returning Mr. Moro's file to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court for reassignment. The former Minister of Interior is standing trial for allegedly defrauding immigration applicants of over 670 million naira. Meanwhile, the trial of the National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Olisa Metu, was also stalled following his application to seek medical attention. Trial Judge Okona Bang adjourned the corruption case against Mr. Metu to May the 17th and 18th due to an oral application made by his counsel explaining the accused came from a hospital bed to honor the court. The Nigeria Labour Congress is demanding a new minimum wage of 56,000 naira for Nigerian workers. President of the NLC, Mr. Ayuba Waba, during a media chat with journalists ahead of the May Day celebrations, says that the proposal for the new minimum wage has been sent to the federal government. According to him, the demand is a constitutional matter that has to be negotiated irrespective of the nation's current economic situation. This comes at the time many states are unable to pay their workers the current minimum wage of 18,000 naira. And when the news at 10 returns, our community report examines the communal tussle over a piece of land in Cross River State. Join us again.